Hi guys, welcome to, what is that? Welcome to Make With Me Monday. My name is Robyn Smith. If you're new to our group, then hi, welcome. My name is Robyn Smith. I think I already said that. This is Make With Me Monday. It's a live making session that I do every Monday, 1 o'clock my time, which is Chicago time, Houston time, Central time. Anyway, do it at 1 o'clock. Hi, today I'm going to take you to church, okay? We're going to save, hallelujah, we're going to save some sugar shrubs. I'm sorry, I'm so excited that I figured this out, and this morning I was like, I'm going to save those sugar scrubs, and then it like reminded me of my childhood. My parents were like Pentecostal for a while when I was a kid, so anyway, religious experiences aside, I'm going to start it and then I'll talk as I go. So I have prepped over here 2 exact versions of the emulsified sugar scrub. And we're going to do it 2 different ways and see if I can get it to fail the way it was failing for people. And then I'll show you how to make it not do that. So typically I actually just keep my oils cool, my liquid oils cool, and put my hard butters in the microwave, heat those up. But just for giggles today, we're just going to heat it all up together because that'll make my life easier. Because otherwise I'll have to like pour this liquid oil out of here. So I'm going to pop these in the microwave and we're going to get them melted down. And we're going to talk about what's going on. Also, I broke a glass in here. Actually, I had 2 just like terrible things happen this weekend. We went to my favorite Vietnamese place, and they have like the best Vietnamese egg rolls. Like, oh my god, they're so good. And I couldn't eat them all, so my husband was like gonna throw it away, and I was like, don't throw that away. And he's like, you're not gonna eat it tomorrow, you can't like really heat up an egg roll. And I was like, yes I can. And so I made him save it for me. So then the next morning I was like, I'm gonna prove him wrong, and I'm gonna heat it up right now, and I'm gonna put it in some like leftover rice. I'm gonna do that right now. And then I proceeded to make every wrong decision you can possibly make when it comes to microwaving something. So like, I used like the old plastic Tupperwares. I'm a child of the 80s. I know that you can't put that stuff in the microwave. That's what I still chose. I chose an old plastic Tupperware, and then I put it in for 2 minutes. I don't know what, I think because I'm used to doing my cocoa butter for 2 minutes. I put it in for 2 minutes, and then I like left it unsupervised. So like it's here in my soap room. So like I came back and there's like smoke billowing. It smelled so terrible because it smelled like smoke and like salty. It was horrible. It still smells disgusting in here. Holly says they finally caught alive. Hi, Holly. I've missed you. And I see there's other people watching. Oh, Nectaria says Facebook finally pulled me up. You've been refreshing for the last 10 minutes. Oh, hi. I'm here. Okay, so anyway, and then I broke a glass. I broke a glass and it like shattered. And I thought I cleaned it all up, but I stepped on a little tiny piece like right before the live. It's like tiny. I can't get it out. It's in there forever probably. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about the sugar scrub. So the emulsified sugar scrub, it's a pretty simple recipe. I never had any problems with it. I've been making it for years, and I never had any problems with it. So it wasn't even on my radar as a recipe that might give people a little bit of trouble when we put it out. So I was really surprised when we started getting people who were posting that their sugar scrubs had separated or failed. And let me grab these out of the microwave or it's gonna beep at me. Okay, hold on. Oh my god, that smell is so terrible still. Ugh, so gross. And you know what? I left my little, I have 2 of those 10 temp guns, I left them both next door. Wonder if my son's up. Probably not. Anyway, I'll just wait for it. I'll just wait. So, okay. So I had never considered that this recipe would cause people trouble. But, and I would say so I looked at the numbers. So for the number of recipes that we sold in November, it was about 2%, like maybe 2.5% that I saw that said had something wrong. Either they emailed us or they commented in the group, and so I went through and I looked at, I searched sugar scrub in the group, and then I looked through all the people who had posted that something had gone wrong, and tried to track down what was going on. Because for me, when something is failing like that, it's either the first thing I think is the preservative. The next thing I would think is the e-wax. There's probably an issue with the e-wax. So I didn't really know what was going on with that. And so it was a real conundrum. It sent me on a real journey this weekend. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'll go back to my story, my backstory on this in a second. Let me tell you the process we're going to do. We're going to do 2 different ways. So one of these, we're just going to set it right here. We're going to set it and forget it. I'm going to set it right here so you can see it. We're going to set it right here, and we're just going to let the oils and the butters, we're going to let those cool off together until they reach 120 degrees. And it takes about 20 minutes. So, I mean, I don't have my temp gun in here, so I can't exactly do it, but it takes about 20 minutes. This one, however, actually I might have to run, I don't know. I might text my son and see if he's up. Otherwise, I might have to run next door. I'm super sorry to do that. I hate doing that on lives, but you know. Feel like it's critical, so. Okay, so this one, we're gonna put in my mixer. And I'm just gonna turn the beaters on and let it start mixing as it cools, okay? So one was setting on the counter and just letting cool off on its own. It's in timeout, it's thinking about what it did. And then this one, we're gonna set over here. I'm sorry, this is a real, it's a real thing over there going on. Hold on. We're gonna put this one over here, and we're gonna mix it as it cools. So we'll have 2 versions going. Okay, so typically what I think, like what I was saying, typically what I think is, oh my God. Hold on, I have to adjust this. I don't know if you can hear, the beater is like really loud. Hold on. It's like too high. Hold on. Sorry. Super sorry. Let's see if that's better. A little bit better. Hold on, one more turn. Yeah, did you know you can adjust your beater heads, like the head of your mixer? You can. Okay, it's not like perfect, but whatever. Okay, so I started looking at it and I'm like, it's either the preservative or it's the e-wax, or there's something in the directions where I'm not being clear enough, and then that's causing people to have an issue. Okay, you guys are saying go and run and get it. Okay, I'll run and get it. I'll be right back. I have reptiles because you have to like check their temps all the time, And the other one that was over there it was like out of batteries or something, and I don't want to replace it. So anyway, thanks guys for giving me permission. It's great. Let's check our temps. 113. This guy. Whoa, 178. He's still pretty hot. So this one's at 113. Are we back? I feel like I'm living in Nancy Drew in the case of the cursed sugar scrub. Okay, are we back online? We're back online. We're good. We're good. We're doing this. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw me temp check this. This was 117, now it's 111, and this baby is still, he's at 170. So, one of the reasons I started doing it this way is because it's so fast, like it cools it down really fast. Anyway, okay. So, in my head, I was like, it's either the preservative, it's the wax, or it's me, which is entirely possible. All three of those are completely possible. And the thing is that all the people I asked, or like I went back and read all the posts, and they all used different e-waxes. They all used different preservatives. And so I was like, unfortunately, I think that puts the blame on me. Ugh. So I had to really look at like what was going on, like what. But first I tested every e-wax that somebody said they had a problem with. So Millard from Amazon, BTMS 50, and then I also used BTMS 25 because that's what I have. And then I tested all three of those with Germall Plus, Liquid Germall Plus, which is what I use in my sugar scrubs. And then I tested all three of those with Optifin, and I couldn't get them to break. What I did get though was, this is BTMS 50 with Optifin, and I don't know if you can see, but in there, well, you can see it starting to drip down. There's a little puddle of oil that's starting to come up right there. Okay, so both versions of BTMS did this, where they would look okay. They look homogenized. They look, you know, good. But over 24-hour time, they would kind of have some oil start to pull on the top. Not a lot, but a little bit. Enough to be like, what's going on with that? Also, when I wash my hands with it, it's gross. It's like so much oil, like so much oil. So, okay, I knew that the BTMS was probably a problem, but it wasn't causing that separation. What was causing that separation? I couldn't figure it out. So, this one, that was my fragrance, my vitamin E oil, and my preservative. Okay, now here's my sugar. And I'm gonna add just a little scoop of some mica because I have about 900 sugar scrubs I have to use now, and I want them to at least be pretty. Okay, so what was going on? I hearkened back to a conversation. Amanda and I had a bunch of conversations about this. Like, is a sugar scrub even emulsified? Because the emulsifying wax isn't binding the oil to anything at the moment. The only thing it's binding, like the emulsifying wax, is so that when you put water on the sugar scrub, now the emulsifying wax will bind the water and the oil and create like a creamy mix, and you kind of get like lotion in the shower. So it's suspending the sugar for now, but it's not emulsifying anything. So I'm like, it can't truly break, can it? We couldn't figure it out. So we had a bunch of conversations about this, and over the course of about 10 pounds of sugar and a liter of avocado oil, I had an aha moment, because Amanda said, when you do these two together, it's clear, right? And I was like, Yeah, I think so, but it also kind of gets cloudy because like I like to let it sit in the mixer and kind of mix, and it gets like real cloudy looking and pretty. And so that got me thinking that maybe there's a problem right there. So I went and looked at the recipe, and I noticed that the recipe just said like let the oils cool down. And I was like, I mean, surely that can't make a difference, because like I do always just mix it in my mixer as the oils cool down, but like surely that's not going to make enough of a difference, like that it's going to cause all these batches to fail, right? So I tested one. And she failed on me. She failed. And I was like, oh my God. So then I messaged like, there were 8 of you that I could find on Facebook. And then we had like some that had emailed us. So I asked Megan, who's our awesome Bath Fizz and Foam virtual assistant. I asked her if she could do me a favor and message the people who had emailed us and ask them if they had stirred it while it cooled or just let it cool on the countertop. And every single person I contacted said that they just let it cool on the countertop. So now I was like, okay, so here we go. We're just gonna set her right here. Actually, let's we're gonna write on her. Stirred, shaken, not stirred. Okay. That was good. That was exciting. So once I figured that out, I went back and I tried to do some more troubleshooting with it. So I do believe that that is the issue. Now, when I did it with the Millard wax, it for sure did it. And Millard wax had the weirdest texture of all of the sugar scrubs. Like, it just has a weird texture to it. It's just a weirder wax. I don't know why. I got mine on Amazon. It had kind of like mixed reviews on it, so I don't know. Okay, so Millard wax. But when I did it with my Crafter's Choice, where are you, baby? This is what I usually use. And even when I didn't stir it with that, where are you at? I have so many, like, here we go. Crafter's Choice E-Wax, soft and silky, germall, did not stir while cooling. She's fine. So it's not every E-Wax that does it, but apparently some do, and it's enough that like, anyway, so we went and we changed that in the PDF. So now the PDF says to continuously stir the liquid oils and the waxes as it cools. Okay, so that's step 1. We're still gonna let this girl fail. She's still coming down off her high. Okay, she's at 143. So while she figures herself out, I'm gonna talk to you about the other thing that I think was going on. So not just the not stirring, okay, but also I think BTMS played a part. She knows what she did. Okay. She had a part in this problem. Okay. BTMS is technically an emulsifying wax. However, it has to be used at 20 to 25% to sustain an emulsion. And otherwise, you do need a co-emulsifier with it. And this recipe doesn't have a co-emulsifier. So what I went ahead and did is I tested increasing the I tested a version of the recipe where the E-Wax was now increased to be 20% of the amount of oils. Not 20% of the overall recipe, but 20% of your oils would be the BTMS 25 or 50. So I tested that and that worked. But I also tested, like, it's hard to add BTMS once you've got a sugar scrub like this that's oozy. Like, it's kind of hard to like melt something and then add it because it's going to melt your sugar. So I tried another thing. I'm just going to show it to you real quick. If you have sugar scrubs that failed, you used our recipe, I'm so sorry. Like, it literally breaks my heart, okay? And they messed up and you haven't thrown them away yet. Please, don't throw them away yet. Put them in your mixer. And I used half the amount of my E-Wax as polysorbate 80. So I'm adding a co-emulsifier, which is polysorbate 80, to a finished recipe. I'm going to add, I added 8 grams the first time I tried it, and that worked. It was a little bit drying, which I say this in the fix that we put in the recipe. It's a little bit drying. You can probably lower it, so just play with it if you decide to go this way. I will say that BTMS 25, when I do this, when we add the co-emulsifier or we add enough to be 20% of your oils, it feels really good. I never would have considered using it as an e-wax just because, like, in my brain, I can't use 5% e-wax and 5% BTMS and have the same results. So to me, I never considered it an e-wax, but a lot of suppliers do list it as an e-wax, and technically it is. It's just, anyway, it does feel good. So if you have BTMS, if that's what you bought to make the recipe work for you and you want it to work, then go ahead and do it. Here's the one I made last night where I fixed it. This was BTMS 50 with Germall Plus, and then I added some polysorbate 80 to it, and now we're no longer soupy, we're no longer runny. We still do have like a nice soft texture though, so if like you're looking for a softer texture in your sugar scrub, that might be a good option for you. The moral of the story is, here's the deal, guys. Like, 2% is too much. If 2% of people complain, it's not a lot, but it's still too much. Especially for me, like, I have extremely high standards, but in my opinion, that's too much. And so that's an indication that there's something wrong. And in customer service, like, the most valuable feedback you'll ever get are, I don't want to, okay, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but negative feedback is actually super important because it shows you, if somebody hadn't said something, I wouldn't have known that there could have been an issue. Even though I've used this recipe for like 10 years, I never would have known that there could be an issue with it if somebody hadn't told me. So if you have people who leave reviews on your website and it does feel very personal and it hurts because it's like, oh, you're critiquing me, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Like, don't take it personally. You don't have to change your entire life because one person didn't like something. However, if you consistently have these things where like multiple people are saying that they're having a problem with something, then that's an indication that there is a problem and it needs to be fixed. And so for me, that I spent all weekend, like, I didn't sleep. I spent all weekend like working on this, really trying to make it work for you guys so that we could have a solution for this, because ingredients are expensive. Are you gonna throw away all that oil and wax? No. Are you gonna throw away all that sugar? No. No, ma'am, you're not. You're gonna save it. Can I get an amen? Okay. We're gonna save it. So here's the one that we left on the counter just to cool. And we're gonna add our preservative, our fragrance, and our whatever else, vitamin E oil, whatever else I put in here, we're gonna add it. Obviously this isn't like, you know, I did when I was doing my test batches, it was a lot more controlled. Okay. There's like mixtures in here now. Okay. My test batches, I controlled the different, what are those called? Lucy says, is the edited version available now? Yes. Yes, it is. I typed it up last night and Amanda went ahead and edited it and fixed it this morning. If you look in your email, you can find that. What we did, like, we did a few things. Number one, we said, like, I think it's step 5, we said to continuously stir the oils and the waxes. The other thing that we did is we split the different parts of the recipe up into phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, because that makes it easier for me to explain how to use BTMS 50 or BTMS 25 if you want to. And then at the very end, we have a long page, probably nobody's going to read it and that's fine, but a long page talking about how to use BTMS 50 and 25, how to find out what the percent of your oils that e-wax represents, and then like how to put that into your recipe. And if you don't care to do all that yourself, we just put a new table that has the ingredients again, if you're going to use BTMS 25 and 50, like now correctly on there. And then the last page is like, hey, just throw some polysorbate in there. You know what I'm saying? If you want to. So that is available for you guys now if you purchased the recipe. I don't know how it works, to be really honest. Like I don't know if we sent an email out to you or if you could just go onto our website and download it. That's not where I shine. Okay? That's not my gift. That's not where God gifted me. God gifted me in the realm of this. Okay. I mean, apparently not sugar scrubs this weekend, but that's where God gifted me. Okay. So let's let her mix. Let us. Okay. Ooh, look, she did separate a little bit. A little bit, not too bad, but she did separate. Can you see it? You can't see it probably. It's hard to see it. Okay, she did separate a little bit. I'm just gonna stir it. I'm gonna stir it by hand and see if that helps. But I think the mixture time is like the most important thing. I think the mixture time is like really important. But that's just like my opinion, man. So I'm gonna say that this is, I'm gonna mark this as fixed so we know. Where did my Sharpie go? I don't know where my Sharpie is. I'm gonna say plus polyadity at 5 grams. I haven't tested 5 grams. I tested 8 grams, so I just wanted to test a 5 gram one. And obviously it's hard to know right now. It's hard to know for sure right now what's going to happen with it because it needs time to firm back up. But I can show you, and I'm working on a blog post about this, so I can show you guys like step by step the process that I went through. So this was BTMS 25 and it was leaky. This is one where I added polysorbate 80 to it, and now we have a good firm regular sugar scrub like that, what we would expect. This is a BTMS that was made, nope, this is a Millard E-Wax. Okay, so this is a Millard E-Wax that was fixed. So once again, we have that correct texture that we're looking for, and we don't have it souping up in the bottom. This is the BTMS that we added the poly to, and this is 24 hours later. You can see that it's not leaking anymore. It's a good texture. And what else do we have? And then this is the Millard where we stirred the oils and waxes consistently. So I did it. It was so much work. So it was a combination. It was a combination of miscommunication on my part and like needing to clarify ingredients, and then also making sure that the correct, like if we're using that BTMS, that we're using the correct ingredient there. And I think that fixed everything. I don't know 100%. I still need like the people who, I would love for the people who had a problem with it to test it out and to tag me and to tell me if it worked or if it didn't work. Like, you're not gonna hurt my feelings if you tell me that it didn't work. At the end of the day, I do everything I can, but then, you know, I can't like reach through the phone and be your hands for you. So I do everything I can, but you know, that's it. Christine says, can you ask a question about the high humidity recipe? Of course you can. Ask away. Okay, so while Christine asks, I'm gonna go ahead and pour this one. I don't know why I took my gloves off. Nobody's using these but me. Okay. At least this batch I made a different fragrance, because all the green, purple, and pink ones are all the exact same fragrance, because I wanted to eliminate as many potential factors. Isn't that what it's called? What is it called in science when it's like you have to, I know the word. Y'all are probably screaming it. Anyway, I was trying to eliminate as many possible factors, so I just used a fragrance oil I knew was like super well behaved, but like everything is the exact same fragrance. It's so annoying. Variables. Yes, there you go, Kimberly and Lucy. Yeah, variables. So that's when I realized, like, hey, the only variable going on that's like consistent, if everybody uses a different wax and everybody uses a different preservative, then the only variable that's like the same across the board is me. It's like one of those things, like, if everybody in the world is a jerk, then maybe like you're actually the jerk. Not that I think I was a jerk, but like you're saying, if everybody in the world's having a problem except you, then maybe like you're actually the one with the problem. So it's cool though. It's good. That's how, I mean, hey, constructive criticism, you know what I'm saying? Okay, let's let this girl sit for a second and then we'll see what's up with her. Okay, let's see. Did soap-based question. Does it melt the sugar over time? The whipped soap base? It shouldn't. I don't think so. Because there's... No, it shouldn't. Oh my god, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so, though. Let's see. I don't see the question about high humidity. That's okay. Maybe, like, it's getting typed. Okay, so I hope that... I know that this was, like, kind of crazy and all over the place. That's why I'm going to write a blog post about it. And once that's done, I will link it in the description of this video as well, so that you can find out more information about it. And I just want to thank everybody who was... obviously thank everybody who tried the recipe anyway and liked it, but also thank you very much to the people who were willing to say, like, hey, this didn't work for me. Without you guys, I wouldn't have taken a second look at it and tried to figure that out. And so, you know, I know it sucks that you maybe lost product, and like that's what keeps me up at night. Like that's what that's like the major anxiety that I have, is that like you would have wasted product and then your time and all that stuff. Like I hate that. But also know that like you helped a bunch of other people who in the future might have had the same experience, because I didn't have that experience and I couldn't help, you know. That was probably the most frustrating thing, is when I was like trying to get it to split and I couldn't. And I was like and my husband's like, why are you trying to get the recipe to separate and to fail? And I was like, because I can't tell you how to fix it if I can't get it to happen for me. It means I don't know what's going on if I can't get that to happen. So anyway, I think that we figured it out. The updated PDF is available for you guys. Thank you so much for your patience on that. And like I said, I will post. Okay, so this one, you know what? You know, Millard Ewax, there's also a supplier, she who will not be named. I'm not going to name her, but there's a few people on my naughty list this year. Okay. I don't know. Amanda says this is the one she used. It seems like it's just kind of like a little bit more touchy than some of the other ones. So, you know, maybe you use an E-Wax from like a supplier. Just saying. If you have problems with it. Oh, now she's starting to separate. Okay. Can you see? No, you can't see, but it's fine. She is. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that just stirring. All right. I think that's it for today. I didn't see the question that Christina had about the high humidity recipe. You can ask it still, and I will come back and answer it if I can. For everybody else, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and for being patient through this. And I will put a link in the description when I'm done with that blog post with a bunch of pictures so you can follow the process and the journey if you're interested in that. Also, hey, look at my shirt. It says, take a bath, you filthy animal, with a little Santa taking a bath in a bathtub and some little bath bombs up here. That's in our Etsy shop. I'll include a link to that in the description if you're interested, and a link to this recipe if... I don't know if I've like done a good job selling it at this point, but a link to this recipe if you don't have it and you're interested in it. That's it. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. Happy making.